We complete the video on Chaucer in this particular audio video. So there are contemporary writers of Chaucer. The famous ones are William Langland, John Wycliffe, John Gower, and others. The connecting link between Chaucer and Spenser is considered as Thomas Sackville. So Thomas Sackville is also an important contemporary writer. Wyatt and Surrey, these two writers are very important because they published Total's Miscellany in 1557. So another name. Then we have one of the important events that took place in his period was the Licensing Act, which meant closing of all the theatres, and that happened in 1737. Drury Lane and Covent Garden, they passed this law, this act. The first English playhouse was published in 1576, and the name was The Theatre. The first regular comedy written in his time period is Gorboduc. I'm just giving the important or the star points because we cannot talk about each writer and each work, but we can definitely talk about and name important events that took place during this time period, important writers and their works. So the first regular comedy was Gorboduc, and this was written by Sackville and Norton. I have already spoken about theatres got closed in England in 1642. Then another important event that took place during this time period was the Great Fire of London took place in 1666. We call English Chaucerians. We have this term English Chaucerians. So who are these English Chaucerians? There comes a short time period where we did not have much development in literature taking place, but we have a few writers who try to write or imitate like the great ones, and that is why we called them the English Chaucerians. So who all are these writers? Thomas Occleve, Alexander Barclay, John Lydgate, they are all, and others are called English Chaucerians. So this is very important. Then we have Scottish Chaucerians. So who are the Scottish Chaucerians? For example, House of Fame was imitated, and House of Fame was imitated by whom? Douglassius, the Palace of Honor. So we have House of Fame by Chaucer, which was imitated by Scottish Chaucerian, and the name is Douglass's The Palace of Honor. Caxton is printing press was set up, and this was a great revolution in the English literature or in the writing period. And Caxton's printing press was published in 1476. Then we have the first book that got published in English in poetic prose, Morte d'Arthur. Alright, then we have a prologue to Renaissance, and that was written by, because now the Chaucerian period is getting over. We have spoken about pre-Chaucerians, we have spoken about English Chaucerians and Scottish Chaucerians. Now we are heading towards the Renaissance. So when we start talking about Renaissance, we start talking about More's Utopia. So there was a prologue written by him, and that is in More's Utopia, prologue to Renaissance. Romance of the Rose was written by D. Loris and D. Mune. Under the influence, Chaucer wrote the Romance of the Rose under the influence of D. Loris and D. Mune. Tudor rule starts in England, and because of the many wars that kept taking place that resulted in Tudor rule in England, we get this information from the War of